Fired USAID employees have just 15 minutes each to pack up their personal belongings from the agency headquarters in Washington. Now, this comes just after 4,000 staffers were put on leave on Monday. But I want you to take a look at the extraordinary.
Now, after a surge in the 2024 tech layoffs, they return in 2025. Mark Zuckerberg is cutting back on the Meta headcount.
U.S. job cuts skyrocketed 245% in February, the highest monthly total since July of 2020, offering the clearest sign yet of the toll taken by the Trump administration's mass government layoffs. According to global outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas, more than 172,000.
Tonight, a shocking scene not far from the heart of New York City. Wildfires ripping across parts of Long Island. Thick black smoke billowing into the sky. Officials telling residents to close their windows and stay inside. The fires not far from the upscale Hamptons area.
So we have a very good relationship, and I also have a very good relationship, as you know, with President.
In terms of reaching the goal, the WHO's goal of vaccinating 70% of the global population by July of 2022, show of hands on this stage, do we think it's going to happen? Do you think it's going to happen?
What?
To get to vaccination of 70% of the population of the world?
No, it's too late.
Too late.
I mean, there's a lot of diseases out there that demand does not exist for that. I mean, countries should be able to set priorities.
Yeah.
What's going on, people? What's going on? Once again, back at you as pilgrims in the earth. First and foremost, all praises be to the Most High. All praises, all honor, glory, respect. All attention go to the Most High in this wicked world. Still trying to maintain. Just ate some potato soup. Shouts out to Tamika and her channel making this tomato soup. I said tomato soup, potato soup. My bad. Yeah, feminine, nurturing, virtuous journey. Check her out. She got all good recipes, you know. And a TikTok? Yeah, oh, she got a cooking TikTok. Well, you gotta let them know. I don't know. Yeah. In my cooking TikTok. To make shit, they can't hear you. But yeah, man, check her out. She'll put the link on her YouTube. But yeah, man, a lot going on in the world today, man. A lot going on in the world today. You got these new fires being started. In New York, man, you got all this stuff going on. You got wars, rumors of wars. You got, you know, inflation through the roof. The economy, people losing jobs. People getting tossed out their houses. People homeless. So that's why I made this this video. What's the plan? What is the plan when everything collapses? What is the plan, or what is your plan, or what's our plan? You know, what are we gonna do when everything collapses, right? Because I think most people see what's going on, and we're kind of just operating within everything that's going on. Nobody's really making a plan, or, you know, setting themselves up for when everything falls. You just recently had the banks. The banks, you know, people just losing their accounts. Just losing their accounts out of nowhere.
Chase Bank is closing personal bank accounts, business bank accounts, and credit card accounts left and right.
They're like, no, you got your money. And I'm like, I don't have my money. Chase Bank has my money.
Another person had been with them for over 6 years and had their accounts closed. And one person was actually banned for life. I was able to break it down to 3 red flags. If you're ready to see this right now, type in the comments, I'm ready. Red flag number 1, negative social media. I know it sounds stupid. Let me show you. One Chase customer had their account closed after a week. They went into a local branch to open up a check-ins and a savings account. They set up direct deposit, and then they go to open up the app and it says they have no accounts. They contact customer service, and all they said is that Chase has decided to end this relationship and close the account. Like, why even bother creating the account in the first place? Bunch of, you know what? And now I have to wait to get my paycheck from these idiots. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. Now, once I read that, I said, it's got to be more to the story. Check this out. Now, mind you, this was 4 days ago. So people started putting in their comments left and right. But one person said, so Chase has an AI that creates personality profiles on all customers. You can Google Chase close my bank account and then back to the AI profile in addition to LexisNexis information.
So yeah, you got, you know, 3 of the biggest banks, you know what I'm saying? You got Chase, you got Bank of America, people just waking up. Wells Fargo, waking up, account just stopped. And guess what? Your money, you don't get your money, you know, and they're saying they can't do nothing about it. So we living in some trying times, man. And if we don't formulate a plan before everything cuts off, because it is, best believe, very soon. And I've even talked about this in one of my other videos about Elon Musk. They're creating a chaotic situation, job losses, you can't pay your bills, so they can bring a solution. What's the solution? Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence will bring us right along or lead us right to what? The mark of the beast. The mark of the beast or the beast system. Cash won't exist. So what? You have to cause all these different riffraffs, fires over here, cash, this, that, war. Traveling won't be as easy. So if I would say, you know, one thing you should be trying to do is situate yourself in the right location when everything falls. One thing that I've always did over the years, you know, me and my wife, we've always talked about this. When we start seeing stuff happen, you know, even, you know, it's been, how long we've been talking about leaving the country and, you know, setting up. It's been at least about 7-8 years. But yeah, so I always thought about, like I always joke with y'all, I thought about being a Terminator, getting all the weapons and, you know, but you can't screen recording to this thing, okay. You can't out-weapon the people who made the weapons or put them in your neighborhood. So that's not gonna work. And weapons of our warfare are not carnal. So, like I said, we had to secure our location. I always thought about, okay, if everything happened right now, how would I access food? How would I access water? You know, how would I access protection and safety? So, as you know, if you've been following my journey, Pilgrims in the Earth, my number one thing that I did or promoted was leaving America, which is biblical, as you know, Revelation 18 and other multiple chapters within the Bible, Jeremiah 50, 51, many others. But anyway, so that's what I did. I chose to leave the country, and actually I left the country and went back a couple times, showing people that it's very possible. And also with my family, I have a family of 5, about to be 6. So, you know, there's things you can do. So my main thing is to separate yourself or stop depending on the the oppressor ways that they spoon fed us or took care of us, you know, as far as the religious system. First off, we woke up from the religious system. We learned that Christianity wasn't for us. You know, the Christianity wasn't of the Bible. So we woke up. We stopped going to the churches and being lied to every Sunday. What's number two? We learned that the medical system was not for us. We learned that things that the doctors that was promoting the pharmaceutical companies and giving you these pills that were a detriment to your health in the long run. The vaccines, you know what I'm saying, that they was a detriment to your health. Also, as we seen through the pandemic, you know, many people losing their lives, and also many people that have faced lifelong injuries, being handicapped or whatever. So not only that, when we talk about the medical, religious, the educational system, a lot of us, we trust our children. We send our children off to these educational institutions, these schools, these colleges, and we trust that they're going to instill in our children something that that's something that we should be giving them. So, as you know, I haven't put my children in the public school system because I've always homeschooled my children. I believe that's a responsibility of our household. And when they're of age, when I have that foundation built that they understand, then I will send them off to a right school. You get what I'm saying? That, you know, they can actually learn something and they won't look at their own people only for slavery. But anyway, so yeah, I had to situate my family location. That's number one. If it was to go down today, can I, and they cut off the grocery stores, or they cut off the trucks from delivering the food to the grocery stores, or if there was war and the ships couldn't deliver, you know, shipping to the ports, or if, let's say, Mexico got into it with America, or Canada got into it with America, and they cut off the borders, as you see what's going on, weird stuff going on right now, that would mean that there will be trouble for those food or those trucks to deliver those foods to those grocery stores. Also, you have race baiting or race riot, all this stuff going on is just being stirred, you know, habitation of unclean spirits and hateful birds going on right now. So yeah, I wanted to be in a place that I can physically see my food and say, hey, there's a goat. Hey, there's banana trees. Hey, there's chickens. You know, so-called third world countries that people say the infrastructure isn't as sufficient as these advanced places that we're from, like America. But anyway, that was number one, location. You know, and also safety, you know what I'm saying, being in a safe place. They've always lied to us and told us that, you know, oh, Africa is unsafe, or leaving America is unsafe, or, you know, Vietnam is unsafe. All these places, if you look on YouTube and do some independent research, you will learn that that's a lie. There's many YouTubers that's going to many African countries, many Asian countries, many places outside of America, and showing that it's perfectly safe. Not only is it perfectly safe, it's safer than America. In America, it might be the most dangerous place in the world. But anyway, so yeah, man, my thing was location. Now, am I saying I got everything in order? Well, if everything fall right now, I'm about to hit a switch and everything just pop out for me and the door is locked and I'm good? Nah. But, you know, this is more so like a conversation point that I need to have with my people, you know, that we must think about and take into consideration. Number two is being around some people that you trust, man. Being around some people that you trust, that you can labor with honestly. You know, you trust these people around your children. You know what I'm saying? If something happens, you know, they're not going to run off on you. You're not going to run off on them, or you're not, you know, y'all locked in. You get what I'm saying? It's genuineness. But yeah, man, you're going to need some people. You're going to need some people that's there for you, that's there for you. You know, especially in a time, in this age, where people are basically deceiving each other, man. A lot of people is deceiving each other. A lot of people falling out with each other. So you want to be around some real people that's around. Cash. We were just talking about the banks. It's time for our people to start this is our last stance to utilize this cash while we can. Because if they cut it off, if your banks, all your banks just shut off right now, what can your cash be used for? What resources can you utilize? So all that paper that you had gonna be thrown in the street because it's useless. So right now, you might want to start pulling that money out of your bank. That's step number one. People might say, well, how can you just pull all your cash? That's, you can't really do that. Okay, for a lot of my people in America, you have credit unions. You have, what's the other one? Navy, Federal. But yeah, man, you got credit unions. I would more so trust them than, these big banks. Of course, once those big banks collapse, everything, it will be a domino effect anyway. Me, I personally, piece by piece, if you know what I mean, increments, take it off. But the fees is it's crazy. The fees is crazy. So, but hey, I'd rather have something than nothing when it all goes down. So, yeah, man, I take my cash out the bank and I secure. So when something happens, I can, get to where I need to go. You know what I'm saying? So always have a plan, away from the cities, because once all these zombie movies, what happens? What happens in those cities? Boom, killings, planes falling, people panicking, people violence, loitering, all type of crazy stuff going on at that, once everything hits the fan. People going door to door, breaking in people's houses. That's gonna happen. So when it all hits the fan, boom, be ready to go somewhere. Have a plan or somewhere you need to go. But first, be somewhere away from the city. Either way, you don't want to be near the city. Now, if you're in the city, hey, I'm not saying hit the panic button, but I'm saying, hey, you might want to start taking to consideration of finding somewhere that's a safe haven. Some people say, hey, what if I don't got the money? What if we ain't got the money to do A, B, and C? Okay, do you know some people that are like you? Do you know 5 people that's like you? Do you know 10 people like you? Hey, if you came together, what could you build with 10 people away? So yeah, utilize the people that man. A lot of us, we got people we conversate with, we go to concerts with. Okay, well, put that money, stop buying all this useless stuff, looking good from year to year. Easter Sunday, Passover, we spend thousands and thousands of dollars, but are we preparing ourselves? What most people might say, oh, well, you don't have faith in the Most High if you do that. Well, that wouldn't make sense, because the Most High said to prepare. He said, retire. He said, come out of her. He says, deliver thyself, O Israel. Gather yourselves together, O nation I desire. So there you go right there. You can't trump another scripture with another. If I put down a fact, you can't. My fact or my scripture trump yours. I'm not into those type of, biblical games, but all I'm saying is prepare. But the next thing, or the last thing I would say before the last, is self-sufficiency, man. Self-sufficiency. We have to start building our own, man. We got to start relying on our own. Like I mentioned, taking our kids out of these schools, teaching our own children. I mentioned these churches. These churches is not teaching us the truth. We got to start coming to the Most High God for ourselves, learning who He is for ourselves. Seeing and doing what the Bible actually say, not what is interpreted to say by somebody who's been funded by the very people that's infiltrating everything that's good in the world. So, yeah, man, we have to really start being self-sufficient, growing our own food, depending on the food that we see come out of the ground instead of what's going in the grocery store. Because as you can see with the Gates, all the GMOs, the preservatives, all these fake sugars and all this fake salts and all this stuff, guess what's causing the diabetes? So they're hitting us with the slow kill. They ain't got to hit you with this. They can hit you with this. You know what I'm saying? Not this, but this. So you doing that. You shouldn't even be eating fast food at this point. I'm sorry, to be totally honest with you. Fast food, Throw it out the window. Burger King, McDonald's, Rally's, Arby's, Taco Bell. You're not eating what they telling you you're eating anyway. You know what I'm saying? If you can do a little piece of research and go see what they putting in that stuff. It's not good. And let alone to feed it to your children. You can have something, let's say McDonald's French fries. McDonald's French fries in America has probably 100 ingredients in them. But you can get those same French fries in Japan or Africa or Europe, and guess what? It will just be potatoes. So there's obviously an objective or an agenda, and America is ground zero for it. So I personally believe that America is going to be the first one to fall. Boom. It's going to be the first, and it's going to be before all of us, because the Most High is using it to make an example out of it. And not only is He going to make an example out of, or let it be made an example of by itself, but it's going to be completely eradicated through war. Not only from the war on the inside, but the war from the outside. Eventually, all this war talk with Russia, Iran, China, it's not going to just be talks. It's going to be physical war. But yeah, man, I've been telling y'all about that for a while as far as the Babylon thing. This is more about, what are we going to do when everything falls, or, when a fallout happens, or so forth. But do you have a plan? Or, what's the plan when everything collapses? So we talked about being more self-sufficient, growing our own food, teaching our own children, becoming our own doctors, learning what's good for the heart, learning what's good for, we have to do the education of what different herbs mean. My great aunt, she was good at that. I forgot the book that she said. I think it was the book of Eden, the garden, something about Eden. This book had a cure for everything, a herb that will cure most of these common diseases that we know today. And please believe a lot of these diseases that they say is uncurable is a lie, because there's a herb that you can probably find in your yard back in the day that will cure that. But as you know, all the fruit trees that we seen when we was growing up, where are they today? I don't know. Do you know? So yeah, I wanted to come to a place where I can look outside, I can see coconut trees, I can see banana trees, mango trees, passion fruit, papaya, soursop, and I'm being, and that's real. I see all those things. I see goats, chickens, so, and that's just my advice, you know what I'm saying? Because let's say it's going to be increments, let's say once the food stops, then you're going to have crime. Of course you want to protect yourself, and, you're going to move from point A to point B. But yeah, self-sufficiency is key. Self-sufficiency, farming, schooling, teaching our own children, our women having their own babies. My wife, as I showed y'all, she delivered my son not only on the continent of Africa, but not in a hospital. We're gonna do it again, and we're gonna record it to show you that we can do it again, that our faith is in the Most High. And that's my next point is that you must have, most of all these things, is faith. You must have a relationship with the Most High, God. You must have a relationship, and you must be living in alignment with the Most High, what He says do in these last days, because you have to be guided and directed in these last days. A lot of people are waiting, sitting back waiting. Oh, I'm gonna wait till He move, or I'm gonna wait till they start preparing. I'll wait till they start growing something in their yard, or and you can do whatever you can do. I'm not telling you everybody, if you don't leave America, I'm gonna be mad at you. That's my advice. That's what the Bible says. I suggest get out of there. There's no other way for me to tell you that. But if you can't leave America, follow the law, statutes, and commandments, follow the Most High, and at least prepare where you at the best way that you can. I'm not a rich person at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like y'all, if not worse. But yeah. Also, disciplining yourself, disciplining your finances. Once I started to discipline my life, where I stopped drinking, hanging out with certain people, doing all these different things, all the friends and all that, my finances start being more disciplined. Now we have money set aside for security, security reasons. If something happened, we'll be able to go from here to there. You start thinking more clearly. You know what I'm saying? I fasted for 7 weeks with me and my family. And that's when the Most High, when you communicate and you discipline yourself to the Most High, that's when He start preparing you. But yeah, man, I ain't want this to be a long video, but like I said, man, what are you gonna do when it's that time? When everything cut off? If water cut off right now and it's unclean, it's toxic. Or if it just stopped coming out your faucet altogether. Or the grocery store shut down, you can't even go buy no water off the bottle. Or you can't go get no food. Only thing you gotta depend on is FEMA dropping some food from a helicopter somewhere. We just had the situation in Detroit like that, right? Where everything flooded and everything froze. That could be you, that could be me. So what we must do, we must plan. We must have a plan. All praises be to the Most High. This Pilgrims in the Earth. Like, share, subscribe. We out. Peace.